This is George Macon the bozo who violated his own family trying to get love and affection from ADOS. This is him. He's arguing against 19 Keys right now because allegedly 19 Keys apologized to FBA. So we're going to see what George Macon the bozo got to say about that.
No Black Americans, and now he's backtracking. He's doing the same thing Shabuzi. Remember Shabuzi tried to come out against us, and we had to get at Shabuzi, trying to say we was a hate group, saying all kinds of disparity.
I don't remember Shabuzi saying that, and Shabuzi didn't backtrack like to y'all. Sorry. And Shabuzi was, and they put Shabuzi at the Sinners performance, which was a statement. Shabuzi has nothing to do with Sinners, but they made sure he was on that stage. That's a statement to y'all. Statement that y'all like to ignore, but go ahead. Keep talking.
Things about us, and we had to check him. So now we had to do some checking in 19 Keys because all of a sudden we was the bad guys. Remember, he came out and came at us. We was the worst people. We was a group, a gang. We was doing all this when he was on videos with Tariq Nasheed talking about us being indigenous, saying all these different things and man, listen, to the point where he was even in the Hidden Colors movie where Tariq had to take him out.
That's a fact. They in too deep. They can't turn back now. A lot of these people done fell out with family members. They done fell out with girlfriends, boyfriends, husband, wives. They done fell out with their children. They done fell out with friends. They done lost their job behind this FBA stuff. They in too deep. They can't admit that they was deceived. Only thing they can do right now is keep pushing and hope one day that they can turn it around and actually make it something good and positive. But as of right now, going against it, they can't. They in too deep. People have been fired from their jobs for pushing FBA. The nonsense, bringing that xenophobia to their work spot. People have fell out with their families. This bozo is one of them. Trying to push FBA.
Because what he was doing was just cornballs, right? Now he's online really trying to get out in front of this, and he's talking like this. Let's get into it.
I know FBA is not a group based on... Yes, I know FBA is not a group based on definition.
Then why, listen, see, this is the problem I have with this brother. Why didn't you tell those Africans that off rip then? Why you just didn't say that? Hey, FBA is not a group. Let me explain to you guys what FBA is. Now, you may have some radicals, like in every ethnic group, you got radicals. You may have some radicals that go off the deep end, but you didn't do that.
Because he tried to get an understanding with Tariq, and Tariq lied to him. And again, he didn't, like, what did 19 Keys actually say that was so wrong? But keep going.
Do that. So, but now,
he said y'all was acting like a group, and y'all was acting like a group.
Now he's trying to Negro explain, right? He's trying to Negro explain now.
What I said was that those who mob and who take on a mob mentality inside a group, because obviously, based on foundational Black American, is describing my own lineage, right? My great-grandfathers, you understand me? My great-grandmother, that is obvious. And what I said is that it behaves, and when I say it, I'm talking about those people who engage in diaspora wars. So my brother Steve asked me, you know, what's up with the diaspora wars? And if you know Man to Man, that's a platform where we just speak candidly. We're actually going to be doing another episode. So when I'm talking to him, like talking to Naomi, and we just sitting at home, it's not a show that gets hundreds of thousands of views like high-level conversations. So in context of the diaspora wars, there are people who are fringe. There are people who are polarizing. And when we talk about diaspora wars, it is not everybody. There's a small group of people, right, who did take on those behavior traits. They respond a certain way. They're extremely negative. And if you want proof of that, look at how people have attacked me. People have sent death threats. People have sent hate.
See, this is the hypocritical part. It's the so-called diaspora wars. If there's a war, that means that there's two sides. You notice how they...
Yes, it could be two sides of the war, and one side could have started it, and the other side is defending themselves. And people will naturally, who are smart, go against the aggressor. World War II was a war between two sides. Who started World War II? Who was the bad guys in World War II? We don't both sides World War II, nor should we. And we shouldn't both sides this diaspora war, so-called diaspora war. Because y'all niggas is beefing with yourself. Y'all don't represent no diaspora.
Only always talk about maybe our radical side, never the other group. Never the other group. They don't do nothing wrong, right? And this is the hypocrisy and dudes like this, man.
Right? People have said all sort of different things. They did not communicate with me or to me and ask me what my thoughts were.
No, you let us know what your thoughts was when you was on there and you said what you said, because you could have easily corrected that brother and said, hey, there's some radicals in every group, my brother. You guys got radicals in your group. We got radicals in our group. And that would have been that. No. You talking about Tariq, y'all need to come out and let us know. No, we heard what you said, dude. And see, this is what I'm saying about one thing about I went to Negro State University. I am a professor emeritus of Negro State University. I know Negro splaining when I hear it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He was a Pan-Africanist until he realized he can't make no money being a Pan-Africanist. Then he went to ADOS, got kicked out of that, went back to Pan-Africanism. Now he's on FBA. Now he getting a little bit of money. So now I guess he happy now. All it cost him was his dignity and attacking his own family.
I'm from Philadelphia, a black utopia, one of the blackest cities in America. I know Negro splaining. And this dude right here is Captain Negro splaining. Listen to this crap, man.
Directly, those who have platforms who I would have engaged with. No, it was like attack. And so I will always consider that to...
Wait, hold up. You said DJ FaZe was born in 70, 71? He said he was out there DJing that time. Oh my God. Don't make me look him up and realize he was born in 70, 71 and he's sitting here talking like he was outside. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Be a small group of people, but you cannot say a whole entire lineage because some people don't even know this exists, right? But when you're describing a lineage, that is different than when you're describing behaviors of people who fit patterns, right? So I don't know if that still makes sense to you. If it does, let me know, right? And I'm not always privy to the way people are consuming the information or how they're operating in different silos. So I'm not sure how the narrative is going to be spun later on. So I can't say everything perfect, nor will I try to. But I appreciate you asking the question. You understand me? But when people behave in a certain way, then I'm really looking at behavior patterns, right? And that behavior pattern is what I use to define the outcome of what something is or what something's not, right? But nobody can say something is, nobody can define the rules for lineage, right? That's the whole point. But if somebody tries to define those rules, then you can only do that operating inside a group, right? So as a Black American, you can't.
So it's an ethnic group. You define your lineage by understanding who we are.
Ethnic group and lineage are not interchangeable terms. Shout out to everybody in the building. You missed a whole lot. Yeah, you missed a whole lot. But you know, that's what the playback is for. But yeah, we gonna keep it going. Shout out to everybody in the building so far. Yeah, we got 87 people in the building. Oh, we going up. Hit the like button. And again, lineage and ethnicity are not interchangeable terms. They're not.
Are here as the people. We can trace our lineage here. Like, but this is what I'm saying. Like, how come this applies to everybody else but us? This is what I'm saying. Listen to these Negroes, man. Bro.
You didn't address anything he just said. You just said ethnic, lineage, and how come this don't apply to nobody else? Like, I will address the point you're trying to make, even though you ignored the point that 19 Keys tried to make. Black people in America, our identity is racial. It's always been racial. You know what that means, right? That's what the whole movie Black Panther was about. It was the racial identity of Black people coming into contact with the ethnic or tribal or national identity of other Black people. Our identity is racial. This is why people say y'all trying to divide black people, because anybody black in America is a black American, just like anybody white in America is a white American. This is why actual intelligent people who study identity for a living, they came up with the modifier of native. That's where that comes from. Native black American, to describe people who were descendants of enslaved Africans on this land. That's where that modifier comes from. That they put before black American. That's why. Bozo, there's no such thing like that in Jamaica or in Haiti or in Nigeria or in Trinidad or anywhere else. But keep going.
Oh, like, this is crazy, man.
What I can and cannot say, because we criticize Black America, right? And then we have a lot of constructive things for it. So if I can make astute observations and be critical of my own people, because that is my people, there's no rules for that, right? So same thing when it comes to being a foundational Black American. I can be critical of people that come from that same lineage.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that interview. I want to see what Africa Bambaataa had to say in his last interview. Don't tell me he was born in 68 neither, because I'm going to be hella pissed that they got this dude talking like he is the originator. Because again, he said that he was scratching with Theodore and them, and he was watching Grandmaster Flash come in there trying to scope out what they was doing. He better not have been born in no 68, bro. Better not. Bet not. Oh my God. I got some looking up to do.
Oh, you listen, I'm critical of my own people all the time, but I'm not on a platform where these people denigrate foundational Black Americans, because a lot of them don't even know what it is, and you don't do no correction. See, this is Negro-splaining again. I want everybody to understand Negro-splaining, right? This is the definition of Negro-splaining. Let them proceed.
For me, it's the same.
That's a fact. That's what I always kept saying. The fact that Tariq can make all the rules and Tariq has the veto to make somebody FBA and take somebody out of FBA, or make somebody half FBA, or give somebody permission to speak for FBA, that proves it's a group. Like 19 Keys said, if y'all can tell me what I can and cannot say, who I can and cannot support, and who I can and cannot back, that means that's a group. No lineage work like that. My mother could tell me, go to do A, and I do B. I'm still her son. We still the same, we still in the same lineage. She might say she disowned me and she don't like me no more, whatever the case may be, or I'm dead to her, but I still have the blood, just like an ethnicity. Like I said before, if an Arab person becomes an atheist, they're still an Arab. If a Japanese person listens to hip hop, they're still Japanese. What somebody believes or do has no bearing on their ethnicity. You serious? Man, yeah, give me the information on this dude. I gotta see this. But yeah, that's the reason. He should have every right to say whatever he wanna say, and without y'all saying he's not FBA no more, or he's a secret tether. He's not one of us. He should have every right to say what he wants to say.
Same thing. When you start like utilizing the language and identifiers consistently to separate, it feels like you're attacking a group, but it's really the same way that you've always been speaking on the people.
Now you see what he just did? So he said we're using language to separate, but this is the way we always been speaking on the people. Listen to this Negro. So it's us. Remember, it's always us.
It is you. When in Black American history have we ever had anything like this? Never. We never had any organized group of people running around here attacking other Black people. Never. Like on a national scale? Never. Maybe like a city or something like that, but at a certain point in time, but this, never.
This is the same dude. This is the same dude that come up out of the nation that's trying to build people up, right? Right? Look, let's just listen to some more. Remember I said no emotion. You just let people talk. They expose themselves.
Right. When you
What hostility? What hostility? FBA is a hate cult. They attack people first. Again, there is no organized group of haters that are made up of black immigrants who attack Native Black Americans. Are there some black immigrants who don't like Native Black Americans? Yes. Yes. But they're not a group. See, I would deal with that person individually. I wouldn't say, oh, this person is Nigerian and they don't like Native Black Americans. So therefore, I have carte blanche to attack all black immigrants. That's what you guys do. Akata is not a slur, and all Nigerians don't use the word Akata. Tether is a slur. So what are you saying? And Akata is a neutral term also. It depends on what the person means. Some people who do use the word Akata mean bad by it. Some people who use it mean good by it. Some people, it depends on the situation. Some people, it's just neutral. So what you saying? Tether is a slur, full stop. Yep, FBA was made in 2019.
speak on negative attributes or something, or positive attributes, historical attributes or things of that nature, to me it's the same, right? And so I guess you have to understand the context in which somebody is defining something or observing something versus this person, the agent, this person hates us, this person is like, I can't really get caught up in all of that. You know, I think that's people's content cycle.
So what we've been saying don't matter, don't mean nothing. Whatever your own people from your own lineage, what we've been saying is nothing. So so based off what you're saying, you only hear the road group. Those of us that's not road, because I'm not online calling people tethers all day. What we say don't matter.
Oh, so you're not on. So George Macon, the bozo, said he not online calling people tethers all day. He just said that. He not online calling people tethers all day. And where's your video calling people out who's online calling tethers all day? I'm happy you said that, because that's you acknowledging that tether is a bad word. That's you acknowledging that tether is a slur. That's you acknowledging that tether is not just a term for certain black immigrants. You just acknowledged that. Thank you. By you denouncing the term tether right now and trying to moderate yourself, you are acknowledging that tether is a slur. And I'm from New York City too. What you saying? I'm from New York City too. Yeah, there are black immigrants who want to distance themselves from Native Black Americans, just like there's Native Black Americans who want to distance themselves from immigrants. It go both ways. But again, those are individuals. You address individuals, and you know the majority of people are not like that. Because what part of New York you from? I'm from Brooklyn. And I can tell you with a straight face, it's not like that in Brooklyn. I lived in Queens, not like that in Queens. I lived in the Bronx, not like that in the Bronx. And I can tell you for sure, it's also not like that in Staten Island and Manhattan. Like what part of New York? Long Island, Mount Vernon, Yonkers. It's not like that. I don't know I forgot who he worked with. I'll just figure that out tomorrow because I got to cover him tomorrow anyway. So I'll figure it out tomorrow. Yes, scholars have written about it. Again, it wasn't the majority of people. Duh, they talk about it every time. Just like there was beef between black northerners and black southerners. That wasn't, there was individuals who felt like that. That wasn't a universal thing where there was groups like anti-black southerner group, like northern black Americans, and they was running around attacking everybody who was from the South. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, scholars have written about it. Yes, there were people who didn't like each other. Yes, but it was never this. It was never no group running around doing all this hate, and it never got this far. Never. Let me see something. Another comment. Exactly. I know. I saw it. Somebody sent it to me. Matter of fact, it was CD No Handle. Shout out to CD No Handle. I don't know if he's in the building or not. He sent it to me. I got to figure out how I want to cover it because, again, I got to make sure I'm not exposing like too much information. And then he used that as a justification to flag me. and I already got a bunch of flags on the channel right now. So and I'm working on getting those off, so I don't need no more hassle. But once I'm done with that, yeah, we definitely will be covering that. Definitely.
To either then. You ain't listening to nothing we saying, but we supposed to respect you. This is the issue we got with you, my brother. What you just did was put the whole group as just rogue, wild heathens running around bothering people. That's exactly what you're saying. I know Negro explaining when I hear it.
Of anything. And I think people benefit if they can get a video that gets hundreds of thousands of views. I think people benefit if they can connect their name to mine and, you know, be disrespectful and talk all this shit in the world and completely disregard any of the work that you've done. And so I really don't have respect for people who disregard everything that you've done for something that they don't like that you've done.
It's not about disregarding the work that you've done. I'm upset with you by the way that you're talking. It ain't got nothing to do with the work. It's the way that you're talking. You're smarter than what you're displaying because you hear what we're saying, but for some reason you just choose to ignore it and only focus on the negative part to try to portray us a certain way so you can look good to the groups that you're doing business with. You're portraying us a certain way because you're very intelligent. That, like, you're being very deceptive. That's the problem.
You know what I'm saying? You say, why don't you attack the... Oh, okay, yes, I understand what you're saying. You're saying rhetorical. What is the criticism of continental Africans? I just talked about the criticism of continental Africans. I just talked about the fallacies and how some of the diaspora returns can be a scam. But Africa is a huge continent, you know? When you travel, you stop speaking on it that much as a continent because you realize how different that each place is. Like, Africa is a uniting word. There's no African.
Now, I want y'all to listen because I'm going to expose this and break this down. Take your emotion out and just listen with your ears. Just listen.
The United States of Africa, right? Kwame Nkrumah is the one who tried to do that, you know. And there was a coup led against him. And then, of course, you have Muammar Gaddafi who tried to create the United States of Africa, but there currently is no United States of Africa. So how they operate in Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, you know, South Africa, and how they operate in Egypt, right, is going to be different. How they operate in Zimbabwe or Ghana or Burkina Faso, these are all uniquely different, right? Where you see the Ghana president doing an EU deal, right, with the UE, you're not going to see Traore doing that same deal, right? So this is where you find that all these differences arise. And again, my mind was like many people before I started traveling, and now I'm just traveled to the continent. You know, I've been to Japan, I've been to Mexico, I've been to...
Now, you see how he's giving these other groups the benefit of the doubt? And he's looking at the good and the bad of those people? Why is he only portraying us in one way? It's almost 60 million of us. We all don't think the same. We all don't do the same things.
He's talking about you FBA claimants, but we can't stay on this no more. Like, you're barely addressing anything he's saying. So we're gonna let you finish your point and we gotta get off this. And we're gonna go to something more interesting.
We have different expressions of our culture in different places, whether you're in Oakland, Philadelphia.
Shout out to we got 102 people in the building.
Or Houston, right? Why is he only portraying us as this rogue group? But when he went to Africa, he's differentiating, right? The difference. He didn't come on here and say, well, maybe amongst my foundational Black American culture, maybe we have some radicals, like everybody got radicals. But we also have these people, this, and this. He ain't doing none of that. None of it. And that's what these Pan-Africans do, these Democrats do. They paint us all in one ball, but give everybody else the benefit of the doubt. And this is what foundational Black Americans is tired of. This is what we're speaking out against.
Like a true shill, he's attacking Democrats. Well, yeah, we got to be off this. Maybe if somebody tell me they watch the whole thing and they say it's something more interesting that I missed, and I'll come back and cover it. What country are you from? And again, I don't believe you're from New York. And I know you just most likely just booty hurt that your YouTube daddy, Tariq, took your money and opened up a spa for white women. But yeah, we going to be off that. George Macon is a clown. Right. Exactly. Y'all all do the same thing. Y'all all say the same thing. There's not even 60 million black people in America, but there's 60 million like FBA culties. Come on, it's not even 60,000 of y'all. Y'all weird. Exactly. That's Nazi talk. They got it from the Nazis. That means you got West Indians in your family. If your family was really 3 generations deep in New York, that means you got West Indians and Puerto Ricans in your family. Say you don't. And if you say you don't, I know you're lying. But anyway, let's get on to this. Everybody, this is the epilogue. The epilogue of this bozo attacking Roland Martin. Let's get done with it so we can be complete.